Hello, everyone, and welcome to a scene for the Living World of Darkness Changeling 20th Anniversary Edition. This is another scene that takes place in Vixen, which, much to Amber's delight, is getting rather popular. Since it's a Saturday night, things are starting to pick up. Basically, it is for our new character here. It is a nightclub in Brooklyn, in the Bed-Stuy Prospect Heights area. It is on the Changeling map if you need reference, but it is not huge. When you walk in, there's on busier nights, there's a troll who is a bouncer. And when you walk in, there is a little bar area to the left. There are some couches and tables. There are servers for the tables and a couple bartenders. And if you go sort of like farther in, there's a dance floor with a lot of lights and a DJ that's playing a mixture of trashy pop and dance music. And there's a small stage with occasional dancers that will come on the stage, but it's not like a topless bar or anything. It's just like they're in bikinis and stuff, just to kind of keep up the atmosphere. And most of the, actually all of the wait staff are either obvious changelings or Canaan, which wouldn't be too obvious, but as a note. And Amber's running around. Amber and Vivi is the Seder co-owner. They're both running around, getting people pumped up, helping people spend money, making drinks, that kind of thing.
And let's say that June and Amber arrive at Vixen.
You mean June and Felix?
No, Amber.
You mean Asher?
Asher.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Asher.
Yeah, once led inside, she'll kind of take a look around. Oh, this is very lovely.
This is the only colorful place I know in the city.
Even you've got to enjoy color.
Sometimes.
She'll just kind of shake her head.
And seeing, I'm pretty sure there's been another she that's has come into Vixen before, but Amber wasn't there for that. So seeing her first she to come into her club and someone that she does know, she's gonna walk up and sort of to the doorway, and she has a name tag that in the chimerical world says Amber, and in the gray world it says MJ. And she's going to walk up and say, "It's good to see new and old faces."
And she'll smile. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a very lovely establishment you've got here.
Thank you. It's good to meet you too. You can call me Kit.
Charmed, Lady Asher.
Hearing Lady, she'll drop just like a like half playful, half serious curtsy.
She'll grin when she sees it. Very polite of you.
Well, I haven't had anyone of your stature come into my establishment yet, so I thought I'd make a good first impression.
You're doing excellently. Is this a new establishment?
It is. I only moved here recently. It's a shame you couldn't be here for the opening, but I'm glad you could come in so soon. I see you've met June.
Indeed. He's been very welcoming.
Or rather, Bartholomew. I believe. Well, can I get either of you anything? And she'll kind of gesture to the bar.
Have anything pink?
I'm sure I could mix something up if you'd like something a bit more magical. There are back rooms, but I'm not going to presume just yet. And she'll go behind the bar and start mixing something up with, I mean, maybe either some dye or some kind of rosé infused cocktail.
She seems positively delighted to receive a pink drink in the most like basic bitch of ways.
Love it.
She'll grin and she'll say, "Make that too," and she'll pass the first one over to June.
And before I keep going, OOC, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask for all of you to go give a hand for Shelby here. She makes a beautiful, beautiful she after a long
Yay,
time,
Shelby!
and she goes full on basic bitch. I can,
Listen, you can't judge me until you've walked a mile in my Uggs.
no. This is just too perfect. I can't handle this. This is too perfect. Okay. Then he looks at Asher, and then looks back to Amber, and then nods.
It suits you. And she'll actually grab a pink umbrella and put it in his drink.
It does.
And she'll make another one for Lady Asher as well.
You're the owner. You know about drinks better than I do.
Well, I would hope so. Otherwise, bartending school was for nothing.
I don't really drink much.
I'm sure you find other ways to have fun.
Indeed, you've got to wind down once in a while.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, at the moment, you're so intense and so broody. Gotta find some things fun.
I'm not broody. And like he usually have this blank face, and he still does. But when he said that, you almost caught a glimpse of confusion in his voice.
Of course not. He enjoys, from what I've seen, cornering others in dark little alcoves, making them tell him all about this kingdom, making people run away screaming, that sort of thing.
You had me at cornering others in the dark.
That's what I said. I told him some people were into the dark, broody aspect.
Perhaps.
And having secured both their drinks, she's going to come back around to the front of the bar and take a seat next to them.
And Lady Asher seems to get pretty comfy.
If you'd like, the couches to the side are a bit more comfortable with the backs and everything.
You said something about back rooms? Are they like VIP rooms?
A little bit. They're for customers like us.
I see. So you cater to all kinds here.
Yes, I take great pride in that.
Well, let's check those out then. She looks over at June. Would you like to? Or she looks like she catches herself, but she just doesn't bother correcting it.
I'm sure he would hate to accompany us.
He's just following you guys. He's not saying anything.
Yeah, she'll lead them past the dancing people. There's looks to be maybe about 3 doors in the back that are like separate back rooms, and she'll hold the door open for them. And there's one wall with some couches and chairs, and the other wall has a little bar.
She's gonna excitedly like prance over to the little bar. She's gonna practically drag June along.
That's
Come on,
actually, that's actually a quite astute thing to do because that's how actually people take him to places. That's like been done in scenes a lot.
You cannot tell me that you're brooding over being called broody right now. Is that a thing you're doing?
Yes, I am.
I knew it. And she looks vindicated.
And again, you can never tell with those like us, and she kind of gives a wink at June.
She just kind of shrugs. I'll take it as truth this time. She's intuition.
And as you're, I heard you were like going over to the bar and looking at the stuff. At like first glance, it looks like sort of normal ingredients, but if you look at like the bottom shelves, they look like some things look like they're faintly glowing. Some things are changing colors. Some things are swirling around without anyone moving them. They look a little bit fancier than the stuff up front.
How fascinating. Do you do all of these yourself?
Well, only those lucky enough to accompany me back here.
Well, I'll consider myself very fortunate.
I think I should too.
Well, please have a seat. I'll fix you something a bit more suited to us once you're done with your first drink.
Oh, Asher is already done with her first drink. She's done and she has licked it quick. Like,
Well, in that case, Amber's not even going to ask. She's going to try to replicate the general look of the unicorn frappuccino, but in alcoholic form.
She will look at it like you just pulled out the holy fucking grail. Oh my. That's fantastic. And yeah, she'll take it, and she drinks like a sailor.
It's sweet, but then the little streaks of blue are a little bit sour, like sour candy.
Sugar comes right now. She's hooded, so just so people wouldn't recognize her when she came in. And as she comes to the back room, she'll take her hood off, and she'll smile. Hey, Amber, and she'll go for a fist bump.
she'll she'll get the fist bump, but she'll do the snail thing where you extend the two fingers below the fist so it looks like a snail. She'll say, Shaya, it's good to see you. We have someone new here. And she'll gesture towards Lady Asher.
Yes, I've met. And she'll look at Amber. She's wonderful.
Oh,
She's
you have?
fun.
Excellent.
And she'll look at the drink. That looks amazing.
Would you like one? I think I can replicate it.
Yeah, I'll have that one. Looks so pretty.
All right. And she'll go and try to make one and make it sparkly.
And yeah, she'll look at Amber and June. Been so long, guys. How have you been? And she'll just chuckle.
Indeed, I was beginning to worry I would never see you again. Our dear friend June is currently brooding because I called him Broody.
I am not broody.
Of course you're not, dear.
She just grins.
He's
She'll
a
give
whole
him a pat on the shoulder.
He's a whole box of sunshine. Just look at that smile. And she'll like poke his cheek.
And then he's gonna turn to Asher and say, pointing up to the all that colorful liquids at the bar or whatever. See, I told you this is a colorful place.
He's still poking, by the way.
And I take it the place that you hang out at usually is also all rainbows and sunshine, isn't it?
I usually go to work or stay at my hotel room.
Hotel room? Do you not have a house?
I'm a new arrival to the city.
Well, that just won't do. I have a studio apartment.
Are you suggesting that we should be roommates?
She shrugs. As far as I know, hotels here are ungodly expensive.
Very.
So would it not be cheaper to split rent at an apartment than to pay every day for a hotel?
If would be.
Forgive me if I'm being presumptuous, but does your studio apartment have appropriate rafters?
Rafters? To be completely honest with you, I'm not sure. Sufficient rafter.
Sufficient enough to hold the weight of a small bat, perhaps?
She slowly turns her head to June. You sleep upside down.
And when you do that, I'm just going to give it to you because I forgot to tell about this in the other scene. When you turn and look at him, you're going to notice that in his Feymine, he's absolutely naked.
But there's fur covering his lower half.
Exactly. His back, his arms, and his legs and his waist covered in thick black fur.
Being a Fiona, she probably just assumed that was normal.
Which is probably, yeah, that makes sense. And then he's going to look at her and say, yes, I absolutely do.
She looks like she actually has to think about whether this one is true or not. I'll have to ask about the support structure, I suppose. I did not build it, so I'm unaware. She still seems kind of sus.
The way I enjoy sleeping is face down. Laying down.
Oh, that'll make things much simpler then.
He nods. Are you sure about this?
She kind of blinks a few times. I'm offering to let you stay in my apartment. I'm not proposing marriage.
Why should you? Is it a she thing?
Yeah, because she's already getting married to me. And she'll say with a big smile.
Yes, indeed, quite. I am marrying the red cap. Yeah, says this kind of shaking her head the whole time.
Congratulations.
But I suppose hospitality is a she thing? It is our duty to look out for the common folk.
Then I will go and collect my belongings after we're done here.
Am I going to be faced with a wardrobe that is entirely black, a large makeup kit, and a couple Bauhaus CDs?
He looks down on himself and looks back up. I only have the Bauhaus CDs. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. Let me just pull up the other overlay so it's easier to explain. So there is this black substance just oozing down from his chest and under his eyes. It
Oh, I thought
looks
that was
like
hair on his chest.
no, it looks like it's makeup, but if you look closely, it's just some sort of black liquid just oozing down.
Lady Asher really looks like she wants to touch it, but she's not going to.
Then it is settled.
That is going to be one strange house.
I apologize if this is offensive, but she thinks for a moment. she decides not to finish that sentence.
He's gonna look at her and say, "Speak your mind."
In all of my encounters with Puka, you've been quite humorous.
He nods.
She kind of shrugs a bit. Perhaps there are many things I don't remember accurately.
Not every joke is a fun one.
I see. I suppose I can't argue with that. Again, apologies if that's insensitive.
No offense taken.
Shay is looking at Marshall go, "You're so deep, Adele can't even roll in you."
What did she say? I'm sorry.
You're so deep, Adele can't even roll in you.
I get it. It's a pun.
Mm.
Because Adele made a song Rolling in the Deep. I'll just shut up now and you'll just take a sip of a drink.
Lady Asher has suddenly noticed the drinks with little seals in them, and suddenly nothing else matters.
He's gonna turn to Amber and say, he's gonna hand over the empty glass to her and say, "This is, I'm done with this. May I have another?"
Would you like the same one or something different? Or wait, no. And she like thinks for a second.
You know the drinks better than I do. You should be the one who chooses.
All right. Then she'll take the glass and go back. And is Lady Asher just staring at the little illusory seals in a glass?
Mm-hmm.
And she'll Amber will look excited, but then she'll give a small glance to Shea and say, turn back to Lady Asher and say, "Oh, it's a new item on the menu. Would you like one?"
Absolutely. Are those real creatures of flesh and blood? Will I have to pick their tiny bones from my teeth?
Oh, yes. That is the unfortunate side effect. And she'll give a wink to make sure that she understands.
She bites her lip as if to reconsider, but when she winks at her, she'll just nod. Very well then.
Make that too.
Did Shea just ask for one as well? I didn't catch it.
Yeah, she'll say you make that too.
All right. 2 bomber bombshells. She kind of chuckles to herself at the name. And it's spiced rum and little illusory seals with the little blue coloring. And she'll give both of those to Shea and Lady Asher. And she's going to take a second to just look at June and think about this, because this is important.
Or my bombshell.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
She'll just say the name of the drink, Bomba Bombshell, as she looks like kind of awkward for a second, and then she'll drink it.
Asher's gonna hesitate momentarily to make sure the seals really, really are illusory.
They are.
And then she's gonna drink it. That is so fascinating. And she'll watch the remainder of the little seals swim around.
I love it. This
And after, oh, go ahead.
this is amazing.
I'm glad you think so. All right, and after like a moment's consideration, she's gonna crouch down and start looking at her selection of beers on tap, and she'll take the darkest one she has, which is like a expedition stout, I think is what it is. Yeah, just a really, really dark stout. And she'll mix it with some just a little bit of chocolate liqueur and it do something cool so that it looks like there are a couple little twinkling stars in it, and she'll bring it over to June and be like, I think you'll like this.
He takes it, gives it a sniff, and starts drinking it.
Dark beer, but it's got a little bit of a sweet flavor to it because of the little chocolate.
Asher is going to watch with bated breath to see if he enjoys a thing.
See if he shows any emotion.
Complete blank face. Like a wall.
One of these days. One of these days.
There has to be something. Lady Asher is like, she pulls her phone up and starts doing some research. She appears to be on a website called Arrowwood. Nobody familiar? It is a website that tells you all about drugs and their effects.
Holy shit.
Here we go.
Seems
Oh
like
shit.
in thought. As she like occasionally squints over at June, looks back at her research.
She will like
well.
peek.
You'll
peek
be
at
at
the
my
phone.
party. You will be going to the party. She grins at June.
Party.
She like pick at the phone, look at June, pick at the phone, look at Asher. Weed.
Depends on the strain. Indica is a depressant, and I think the last thing that our friend needs is a depressant.
True.
Although we should also start you off small so that you're not screaming about dragons that are not here in our world or the Grey.
Why?
Whatever you decide, I would very much enjoy a video.
She'll wink.
I want to be there when you do it. I want to see him like smile. I've seen him frown, never seen him smile.
I smile occasionally.
When when do you not smile?
When I see something sarcastic and funny. And when
Hmm.
some piece of trash covered in fear peeing itself. Yeah, that should do the trick.
Ew. I am not into water sports.
I'm not into water sports either. I can't really swim well with these wings.
Oh, I was gonna make that joke.
True, they don't look to be water wings.
I've tried. They're not.
I've seen videos of little bats swimming in water before. It's very cute.
Aw, that does sound cute. I prefer the little duckies. People put them in their bathtubs and film them swimming, and it is absolutely delightful. Genuinely the
Aw.
highest form of human media. If Asher stirs the seals, do they get all confuzzled?
They seem like if there's a current, they'll like swim along with it. They seem more playful than anything.
Oh, okay. He's definitely going to experiment with putting like a little whirlpool in the drink. He has so much power over these tiny creatures.
Amber, do you have like little cherries? I want to see something.
And she'll get up and get those pitless cherries and hand one over.
And she'll like take her drink, look at her drink, and like call the seal over and like just throw the cherry in the drink to see if it like hits the cherry back at her.
Well, it looks like it's moving to balance it on its nose, but the cherry passes through the seal. It's not tangible, sadly.
But yeah, you should hear it like get excited as it's like going for it, and then it just passes through, and then her smile just goes away. Oh. Oh well. And she'll like dip the cherry in there and then eat it.
I'm sure you could convince Misha to balance something on her nose for you, if that would amuse you.
I think that would take a lot of convincing though.
Right, it might work better if you take Ron into a social situation and tell him the only way to get out would be to balance something on his nose. That might work.
Now that is an awesome idea. In a room full of people and tell him you'll only let him out if he bounces the ball in his nose.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest it. It might cause him distress, but it might be the easiest way to see a seal balance something on their nose.
Yeah, I mean, in a way it's kind of mean, but it's also kind of funny. I like Ron. I'm not going to do it to him.
Lady Asher, when did you arrive? Have you met anyone else yet? Or have I just not met you yet? And you've been here for a while?
I've lived here for a short while, though most of it had been undergoing training. At the moment, I know so few people outside of the proper courts. It's really quite a shame.
It's refreshing to meet someone who thinks that way.
Oh, how do you mean?
Well, when I first got here, there was a pool party that I was so lucky to be invited to. Went on for a while. We were having fun. And there was a man who came in who had not been invited, and he was rather upset about this, so he graciously asked us to leave.
I see. That she just kind of nods. How unfortunate.
And you use the wrong word, you said gentleman. The way he was acting, he was a freaking kid. What adult does a bitch fit because they're not invited to a fucking party?
Whose party was it?
Did he ever give his name? And she'll look to Amber.
And she's thinking, steak face? And she gives a little laugh.
I don't remember. I mean, he kind of just didn't let anyone in.
I remember a boggin and the knocker whose name was most likely Steakface.
What a title.
Yes, he didn't seem too appreciative of the clericon who gave him that name.
Oh, a clericon.
Certainly lived up to the legends that I have heard.
I've yet to meet one, though I'm excited to. I've heard they share many sensibilities with me and my folk.
Nevertheless, I would suggest caution. I didn't know anyone, but I found my companions eager to turn on each other.
That's what they do.
Fascinating.
He told that bargain to hit me with the water hose. I was pissed, and then I think the bogan shit his pants when I went to see him. That's what we do, shall say with a smile.
Indeed, I'm sure there are very few who would fancy a fight with a red cap.
No, people don't usually like fighting us. I should kind of take a side at that and look at Amber.
Yeah, if she were to have a collar that was up on her neck, she'd be doing the thing where she tries to I don't know how to describe it. It's that ew thing where you kind of take your collar and try to loosen it. That's the general vibe you get.
Asher will alleviate the awkwardness with more alcohol.
Does she ask for anything in particular, or does she just kind of wave the glass?
She'll just kind of like hold the glass up dramatically.
Another the same or something different?
The same. Those seals are quite delightful.
Right. Yeah.
What else do you have? Magical.
What was that?
I said, what else do you have that's like magical?
Oh, not anything too crazy. And she'll kind of do that like a flourish of her hand, and so say show things for show mostly.
That surprised me.
Okay, so there's another seal drink coming up, and she'll, since this is Asher's third, she'll bring over a glass of water as well because she wants to keep her hydrated.
Asher looks at the water, momentarily confused, but she'll drink it too.
And I'm done.
No alcohol in this.
I'm sorry, Shelby, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it.
She just said there's no alcohol in this.
Yeah, June is going to turn to Amber and say, I'm done with this. With the empty glass in his hands, and when he's talking, there's like a couple of those stars stuck in his teeth. It's like glowing inside from his mouth.
Wait, don't move. Don't move. Actually, like, take your phone out. Smile with your teeth out. Like, show your teeth.
You're asking him to smile?
Hey, he said he does it once in a while.
He just like opens up his mouth so he can see his teeth, but he's not smiling.
She'll take a photo. She'll like take a photo to see if like the little stars appear on the phone.
They look just to be in the not obvious in the gray world. They just are chimerical.
And she'll look, on the stars.
June, would you like another?
No, I'm good.
All right. Then she'll go and mix him the same thing. Because beer is it's not like going to get him wasted or anything. And for Shea, we're going to, everyone's getting water because that's important. And we're going to make Shea one of those red drinks that she had when she was first hired, the ones that taste like the cinnamon candy that just kind of pulse. So I remember she liked that.
I remember that. I like that. And she'll drink it. And then she'll have a bit of water.
I'm not sure if any of you had dinner, but you do have food if you would like to not upset your stomachs too much.
Certainly. If you have French fries, I'll take some of those.
Easy enough. around at anyone else who wants food.
She'll think, meatloaf? You have meatloaf?
I'm sure we could come up with something. And she'll, if June is his usual silent self,
Yep.
yep, she'll scamper off and come back with fries and wings for herself, and it's like it looks like they served hamburgers, so they have like hamburger meat that was like fashioned into a loaf with some like occasional vegetables to make it more of like a loaf.
And she'll like just take it, like poke right in the middle of it with a fork. Hold it up and just as the red cup does.
Yep.
Tasty.
I will send my compliments to the chef. Your compliments, rather.
And she'll nod, and then she'll like slowly.
Slide the basket of wings over to the bat, just to see if he wants any.
He'll just pick one and eat it. Just one. One is enough.
Asher is going to very gently put a fry in his mouth.
He's gonna look at her. Just like stand still for a second with the fry in his mouth. And then he's gonna eat it.
People will talk if I don't feed you. She laughs.
Stock up on small rodents. No, wait, that's owls.
What do bats eat?
Insects? Fruit?
Fruits.
If it's
I
a
think
fruit
it
bat?
depends. I think it depends on the bat. Depends on like the breed of bat. I think.
French fries, apparently.
I think that will be sufficient. I'm unsure where one would even get large amounts of insects. Although I have heard that some places enjoy the taste of cicadas in a salad.
I was about to suggest a pet store, but that sounds even less appetizing somehow.
She shrugs. I've never tried it. Nor have I tried scorpion vodka.
I don't
Just
mind.
strange things. Oh, are you a fan? Then I will stock up on scorpion vodka immediately.
I mean, the taste is irrelevant. They have the same nutrients as any other food.
Asher kind of makes that like playfully frustrated face.
Forgive me, I'm a little bit confused. If you only eat and drink for nutritional value, why the alcohol?
He thinks for a second. and then says, "It's a good way to keep your body on its toes."
As I understand, it does the exact opposite.
It depends on how much you drink, I suppose.
If you want to be on your toes, what you're going to want to try is cocaine. Or Adderall, if you'd like something gentler.
I haven't done any illegal drugs before.
Oh. He grins.
Amber's trying to mask her surprise at cocaine just casually mentioned. And she's got subterfuge 3, so I'm assuming it is an okay.
Asher, being a Fiona, might as well be talking about, like, favorite types of nuts.
Exactly.
You'll see the red cap is like eyeing the puka, trying to like analyze something.
Which puka?
Oh, sorry, the back puka.
The less fun puka.
Yeah.
The most unfun puka.
Of all the pukas. What would he be like on drugs?
Terribly boring, I'm sure.
Oh, totally. Yo, man, bad. Shackles. Shackles. Have you ever done drugs?
I have.
Is it on video somewhere?
I believe there isn't.
You must remember
Actually-
who you're talking to, Shea.
Sorry?
You must remember who you're talking to, Shea.
Wait, and this, wait, yeah, hey, and she'll say, look at Asher. Hey, if you ever getting high, please send me a video or invite me over.
Perhaps. I have determined this place could certainly use for a good party or two.
She'll just nod.
Well, I'm unsure of where to host it. My Baron is a bit of a stick in the mud at times. I've invited him over many a time, and, well, some people just simply don't appreciate the finer things in life.
Oh,
Might I ask who you serve?
sorry, I didn't get what you said, Lily.
I was asking Lady Asher, might I ask who you serve?
Oh, of course. I am Googling. I am looking it up because I forgot.
That's all right.
I serve Baron Castellus of House Gwydion.
Oh, I see. not too terribly far from here then.
She'll look at
It's a lovely
Amber.
place if you like danger and adventure.
She'll look at Amber. Where could there possibly be a place to host a party? And she'll blink.
Yeah, she takes a second to make a show of kind of putting a finger to her mouth in thought, deep thought.
Oh, say no more. I understand this is certainly not the place to do it. She rolls her eyes a bit. Though I would prefer it be closed off only to our kind, just because you know when the substances come out, things make it a bit interesting.
I have no first-hand experience with such things, but if ample notice is given, I'm sure I can figure something out.
Of course. Wouldn't want to hurt your business at all.
And if you ever require smaller spaces, these back rooms can be rented out. Or private endeavors.
She grins at the mention of private endeavors. That is excellent to know. Though for now, I do believe we may want to get going. We'd not want to be walking around the Bronx when the sun sets. And you must have some things you need to get moved, right?
He nods. But he's gonna look at her and say, "You're not afraid of some trash, are you?"
Trash?
Humans.
Remember?
Oh. I do not fear them so much as I do not enjoy the act of getting mugged.
You just... Yeah. We'll handle it if we need to.
Well, of course, I won't.
I insist.
You're overestimating them.
Yeah, at the mention of needing to get going, Amber will start taking the glasses and the empty little food trays and stacking them up on the counter.
And June is going to like take out his wallet from his pants. He's gonna go, "How much do we need to pay?"
And she just holds up a hand.
That's
So like a stop motion. What did you just say, Shelby? Sorry.
oh, she said that's very sweet of you.
I like to make investments in potential future customers.
She grins. I'll be sure to be back. And I'll tell the rest of the house, too.
Oh, I look forward to that.
And she'll look at it. Amber, do you have a quick minute to talk?
Well, sure.
Well, it was lovely to meet you, Amber. And good to see you again, too, Shea.
Yeah, Good to see you. I actually really hope we'll see each other again soon. You seem really fun.
She'll nod and give a fairly polite bow before heading out.
Allow me to show you out, my lady. And she'll walk with her, and I guess June's going too. She'll walk with them to the door.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. She'll see them out. Another little curtsy. And then she'll scurry back to where Shea is.
And when she comes back, Shea will look at her. I heard that Rookie's alive and okay. Have you heard anything? Have you seen her?
I hear many things. Many people come into this establishment.
Wait, Puka, I have to remember. Have you not?
I was about to say there is a simple answer in that I renamed the drink from its namesake's suggestion.
Yeah, she'll nod. So is she? How is she not?
And she is kind of considering this for a moment. Her usual smile just fades into like a little bit more serious face. She is changed, but going to be okay, I believe. And you'll forgive me if I don't say too much. It is my job to keep certain things secret.
And she'll nod. I like her to forgive me, but I'm not sure if it's possible at that point.
I'm sure time will tell.
And she'll nod. And she'll kind of like hug Amber.
Yeah, she'll give her a hug back. And
then go ahead.
She'll actually slip a schedule into Shea's hand, and if she looks at it, it's she gives her Brooke's schedule for waiting tables so that she can sort of schedule herself around that.
She'll look at it and smile. Thank you. I'll see you soon. And then she'll like leave.
Yeah, but we'll go back to scurrying around and getting everything settled. Party's just starting probably because it's 9 p.m. on Friday night. Sorry, Saturday. I know the days of the week.
I believe we can end it here.
Yeah, I can say the thing.
Sure.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.